Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
A person is in the hospital and a car was shot several times during a shooting. This morning, what investigators have revealed so far about this.
Plus, charged with murder. Friends are talking this morning about the man accused of gunning down the United Healthcare CEO.
And as another messy start this morning, we take a look at the radar. A lot of the rain is in our southeast counties, but there's a good bit of fog in the triangle and some drizzle. I'll show you what to expect.
And we've got a sneak peek at a new casino officially opening about a 90-minute drive from Raleigh. A lot going on this morning that we are tracking here on WRAL News and Fox 50. Sit down, join us as we bring you the news. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, quite a start to our Tuesday. You can't even see the buildings.
I know, it's all foggy outside.
In downtown Raleigh, Dix Park, very foggy this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking that fog and also some rain showers we're seeing.
We're seeing a little bit of rain down in parts of Sampson and Wayne counties this morning, and just a touch there in the triangle, especially moving out of Durham into the northern part of Wake County. But what you can't see is drizzle. The particles of drizzle are so much smaller than the raindrops, and the radar is calibrated to see a raindrop. So there is a lot of drizzle, a lot of wet conditions out there. A 30% chance of showers as we get through the afternoon. It should be a bit drier until we get to the evening commute, and then we start to see more waves of rain ahead of our front. That chance of rain picks up overnight, and boy, tomorrow morning is going to be really messy. Lots of fog in the triangle, a quarter mile visibility for us here. Visibility is starting to rise a little bit in some other spots, but look at everybody walking around downtown. You can see the sidewalk, the street is wet. Everybody's all bundled up out there, and it just looks, almost looks like a movie set out there, doesn't it? 57 is our temperature. We have a southeast wind, and our high temperature will be warm today at 70, but we will keep the clouds around. Tomorrow also will be a warm day, but it's a WRAL weather alert day. We have the potential for some severe storms and heavy rain. I'll walk you through it. Coming up, Ken.
8:02 and Elizabeth. Let's get right to the WRAL storm tracker out on the roadways this morning. Photographer Mark Alexic, Kelsey Coffey in Crossroads near Cary this morning. Kelsey, set the scene for us, if you will.
Ken, right now we're near Crossroads in Cary. We're a couple of minutes away from getting up on the belt line here. But just as far as conditions right now, fog, that's the main thing that we're seeing right now. A little bit of wet roads, but most of that has really dried. So you may notice some ponding here and there as you're headed off on your morning commute. But so far this morning, we have tracked more than 130 miles here in the storm tracker all across Wake County, monitoring road conditions for you. So again, the main thing that you need to look out for this morning is just going to be that fog. Give yourself a little bit of extra time for your morning drive. Ken, what else can you tell people before they head out the door?
And Kelsey, with that fog in mind, you can see it showing up here. The orange shaded area shows you where the fog is most dense. We want people to be mindful of law enforcement officers working these incidents that you see here in our traffic map. And just be careful and move over one lane if you can. We want to bring your attention to this situation here on US 1 northbound lanes between Highway 64 and Highway 55 this morning. You can see the huge backup this disabled vehicle is causing. To be honest with you, I-540 right there is an alternate route for you just to avoid what's happening on US 1, just to get around it. And this is what it looks like in terms of, you can see the windy conditions and how foggy it is that right now those northbound lanes are coming toward us this morning. Really and truly take an alternate route, because as we look at our delay map this morning, this is what you're looking at. Almost a half hour coming in from Moore County, Lee County, coming up US 1. So definitely 540 is an alternate route for you this morning. The other two troubled spots, 15 minutes out of US 1 coming in from Wake Forest, and 16 minutes over there in 87 in terms of what you can expect this morning. We're seeing the usual slowdown on I-540 as well. That's just a combination of the congestion and the traffic lights there on 540. You're getting ready to head out this morning. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Thanks, Ken. And you can stay up to date with the weather forecast by downloading the WRAL News app. Make sure to turn on your notifications for alerts about weather changes in your area.
I'm Nick Perlin in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker, where a person was shot early this morning in Durham. The shooting happened at around 1 a.m. on Linwood Avenue. And take a look at this. This is what was left behind at the crime scene. This gray car with several bullet holes on the side of it. Now, we know one person who was shot was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. We are still working with the Durham Police Department to find out who fired those gunshots. In Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Luigi Mangione was charged with murder in New York as he is accused of shooting and killing the CEO of United Healthcare. He's also facing charges in Pennsylvania. That's where he's in jail this morning. Police arrested the 26-year-old yesterday at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Investigators were tracking him down for nearly a week. He was denied bail last night after being arraigned on gun charges in Pennsylvania. Officers say he was found with a 3D printed gun and a silencer. He also had a fake ID with the same name, in fact, the accused shooter used at a New York hostel. Investigators also found a manifesto that made reference to United Healthcare. Mangione was previously living in Hawaii, and his former roommate says nothing alarming stood out about his behavior at the time.
Never once talked about guns, never once talked about violence. He was absolutely a not violent person, as far as I could tell.
Now, it's not clear when Mangione will be taken to New York, but law enforcement says most of the evidence they collected will be sent with him. Investigators will search Mangione's known home addresses and collect any electronic devices.
Early this morning, strikes could be heard in the Syrian city of Damascus as rebels have taken control of Bashar al-Assad's regime. Yesterday, Israel said it struck Syria's chemical weapons sites. They say it was in an effort to prevent them from falling into the hands of extremists. Syria's former prime minister also agreed to hand over power to rebel forces. In the main square of Damascus, thousands gathered to cheer the end of the Assad regime. The rebels were given a hero's welcome, many from an Islamist group called HTS, considered a terror group by the U.S. and the United Nations. The leader was once an al-Qaeda commander. He now promises tolerance for all religions and no restrictions on women's rights. And this morning, we are getting a first look at the new Caesars Virginia. The casino is just a short trip away from Durham and Raleigh. And WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live along I-40 in Raleigh. And Laura, today we will get a better idea of the behind the scenes of this casino.
Start planning that road trip. We're exactly 1 week away until the long-awaited opening of the Caesars Casino in Virginia. Many North Carolinians have already hopped on I-40 here behind me from Raleigh, heading to that new location where they've been able to gamble legally for the temporary site that's been set up there. Taking a look at this video, this is a look at some of the construction process that's been underway for the past couple of months. Caesars Virginia is a $750 million development from Caesars Entertainment in the eastern band of Cherokee Indians. As we wait to get that inside look later this morning, this is video of the temporary location. Here's what's coming soon. Guests will find a gaming floor with 1,500 slot machines, about 80 live dealer table games, a Caesars sportsbook, and a World Series of poker room. Caesars Virginia will become the third permanent resort casino to open in Virginia. Now, the doors of the resort, which also includes a 320-room luxury hotel, will open at around noon on Tuesday, December 17th. That's a bit of a delay from the originally scheduled opening date, which was this Friday. We will have a crew there in Danville getting that first-hand look at how the casino is set up. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And make sure to tune into our newscast from 4 to 7:30 this evening on WRAL for that sneak peek inside Caesars. It's going to be great. All right, well, Mix 101.5's 30th annual Radiothon for Duke's Children is happening right now.
And joining us live to talk about this, the need this year, is Kyle Smelsner with Mix Mornings. Good morning. Thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Hey, thank you so much for helping us out. This is the 30th annual Mix 101.5 Radiothon for Duke Children's. This is their biggest fundraiser of the year. In the time our station has been doing this, over $21 million has been raised. So we got to keep it up over the next couple days.
So, Kyle, how does the money you raise for Duke's Children help so many families? It's a lot of money.
Yeah, simply put, it keeps those miracles going at the hospital. We are so lucky to have the Steph Currys and the Serena Williams of doctors in our own backyard at Duke Children's. And just a moment ago, we talked to the Monroe family and their son, who's 2.5, his name is Owen. He had the world's first ever partial heart transplant. I want to say that again. Wow. World's first ever partial heart transplant at Duke Children's. And the type of confidence that a family has to have in a hospital to do something like that is extraordinary. And we are so lucky to live in a community that has a hospital like Duke Children's. But those miracles don't happen without the funds and donations raised. So we're just really trying to make it happen right now over the next couple days.
Oh, that is so amazing. I have the chills just listening to that because that is absolutely incredible. Kyle, these radiothons, they've raised millions of dollars in the past. This is the 30th year. What's your hope for this year?
Just to make it the biggest one ever, we have some special surprises over the next couple days. We have a conversation with Coach K coming up, who's been a big contributor over the last 40 years of his life. Some reunions, celebrating families who used to be patients a long time ago that are now living because of Duke, and they've been able to, get married. They've been able to graduate from college and start their own lives and start their own families because of Duke children. So a lot of people we want to celebrate because they're here in those Duke children's moments that they've had because of it.
Kyle, I bet people right now have just been inspired. How can they donate?
Easiest way to make a difference, since we love our smartphones, you can text Duke Kids to 51555. You can also call to our phone bank, 919-684-115, or if you're online right now, WRALFM.com. Let's make it happen for the kids, patients, and families that roll through the doors of Duke Children's.
Let's make it happen. Kyle Smelzer, thanks so much for joining us.
With 2 weeks until Christmas, the odds that we could see a white Christmas in North Carolina, is it good? Is it bad?
Well, you know the answer to that. Plus, a chaotic 4-car crash. The Wake County man who is recovering after being hit while trying to help the crash victims.
Also, Jamie Foxx's near-death scare. His mystery illness revealed in a new documentary that was out today.
Boy, it's a messy start out there this morning. Take a live look at the airport. We are socked in with fog here. Some drizzle as well. But tomorrow's a WRAL weather alert day. We're going to walk you through that coming up.
Welcome back and good morning to Lewisburg. Pretty foggy and rainy. Another messy morning commute this morning. Some areas seeing a little bit of that rain. Elizabeth Gardner is tracking that right now. We're also looking ahead to tomorrow, which will be a WRAL weather alert day.
The rain will be a lot heavier this time tomorrow. We're dealing with some scattered showers. And when you look at the radar, you may think, oh, it doesn't look too bad out there. We're seeing a little bit of light rain from, say, Clinton up toward Goldsboro, a little bit of that in the northern part of Wake County moving northward. But we have a lot of drizzle out there and a good bit of fog. It's just messy. It's drippy. It's wet. The streets are damp or wet, depending on where you are. Let's take a look across our area. Here's a look at Fayetteville. Definitely have had some showers rolling through there recently, so the streets are wet. Lots of fog here in Apex as we look down Salem Street. Chapel Hill's wet this morning with a lot of fog, and you can see the gray skies there in Raleigh as well. So just a messy commute. Temperatures are in the mid-50s, so it's chilly, but not terribly cold. We'll continue to have some waves of rain roll through between now and lunchtime, but after lunchtime, it really starts to dry out. I don't think we're going to see much sunshine, but then the cold front gets a little closer to us, and the evening commute looks messy. We're going to see more rain that starts to move in at that point, and the heaviest rain will be during the first part of the day tomorrow through about mid-afternoon. We are seeing some lightning along the southern end of this front. We have the potential for some thunder and lightning across our area too, especially say between noon and maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on where you are. So our weather alert day, it's going to be for much of the day. We're going to start with some heavy rain first thing in the morning. Some heavy rain, some windy conditions, some backups for the morning commute, and then we have the potential for some damaging winds later in the day in our eastern counties. You can see that level 1 risk. That means some wind damage, some heavy rain likely. Let's walk through that. This is going to be right around midnight tonight into 6 a.m. Lots of heavy rain out there. We can see 1 to 2 inches of rain with this system. There's lunchtime, and then into the afternoon, it starts to shift eastward, and it's mostly out of here by the evening commute. We start to clear out, but it'll turn colder and windy. So best chances of rain will be tonight and tomorrow. And then we're dry up until Saturday night. Sunday looks a little wetter. For the rain that we see tonight and tomorrow, looking at anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of much needed rain. None of it's going to be snow. No, a lot of us are dreaming of a white Christmas, including me. Meteorologist Chris Michael's coming up to talk about statistically what our chances are of that. For Saturday, it'll feel like the holidays where the Durham parade temperatures will be in the mid-50s. A little cloudy, Ken, but it should stay dry.
Oh, looking forward to that. Happening now, we can see the foggy conditions you just mentioned, Elizabeth, showing up in our live traffic sensors this morning. The orange shaded area shows you where the fog is most dense. Of course, we have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roadways all morning long, just keeping you updated in terms of exactly what's going on. There you see the windshield wipers not going right now, but you can see traffic has definitely picked up on the Beltline this morning. And definitely watch your spacing and your speed this morning. And with all the foggy conditions that we've been experiencing, definitely be mindful of the law enforcement officers who are working these crash scenes this morning. Back here in the WRAL Traffic Center, a couple of things we want to bring your attention to this morning. This disabled vehicle, we're being told that it's in the clearing phase right now, so things are really beginning to clear up there on US 1 between Highway 64 and Highway 55 this morning, so that's really good news. Down there in Holly Springs, we're seeing a serious backup on Highway 55 this morning, coming out of Holly Springs as a result of this crash on Avon Ferry Road. You might want to look for an alternate route. Many of you in Holly Springs know those alternate routes that are local roads this morning. You might want to consider one of those as well, because you're looking at a slowdown this morning. We're seeing a usual congestion building on US 1 coming in from Wake Forest this morning, as well as those 87 lanes coming from Nightdale. And in terms of the delays, here's what our sensors are picking up. You're looking at a 17-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, and things have definitely gotten better there coming in from US 1 in Apex this morning. It was up to a half hour a little while ago. You're getting ready to head out this morning. We've got you covered on the radio. Tune us in, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
We are now 2 weeks away from Christmas Eve, and our weather team is looking into the crystal ball to see what chances we have of a white Christmas. See, that script should have said snow globe there. I feel like that would have been a little more on brand. Lauren, no, I'm kidding. Chris Michael joins us now, and it's pretty rare to see a white Christmas around here, Chris.
It is, and blame me, because I wrote that, and I'm kicking myself right now. So the last time we saw any snow on Christmas Day was actually 2010, but the last time we had the typical definition of a white Christmas was 1966. There is a technical definition. It's 1 inch of snow either falling on Christmas Day or on the ground already on Christmas Day. So the odds of that happening, 2%. That's it. You got to go to the high country, Boone. That's where they stand roughly a 20% chance statistically. Now you back out the view and, you know, the Rockies, areas near the U.S.-Canada border, the Cascades, the Sierra Nevada, they stand the highest chance. But you don't have to travel that far. In fact, if you go to Snowshoe in West Virginia, the natural-made snow, you have about a 50% chance once every 2 years of seeing a white Christmas. Well, what about this time around? You look into that crystal ball or that snow globe, and 8 to 14 days from now, there's above average temperatures that are likely across much of the U.S. I'm looking at this one global weather pattern right now on WRAL.com to see what's causing that and if there's any potential shift. That's right now on our website.
All right, thank you, Chris. Attorneys for a former Wake County school teacher convicted of rape plans to appeal his sentence. Joshua Becker pleaded guilty to 6 counts. In June of 2022, he attacked a woman on her way home from bars near Glenwood South. Becker worked in the Wake County Public Schools from 2012 to 2020. He is not eligible for parole.
Actor and comedian Jamie Foxx is finally sharing details of a medical scare he suffered a year and a half ago. His Netflix special, What Had Happened was released today. We now know Foxx had a brain bleed that led to a stroke. In the special, he says at first, doctors dismissed his illness, but his sister took him to a hospital in Atlanta, and that's when the brain bleed was discovered. Foxx was taken into emergency surgery. Demisios Chambers was in the audience for that taping, and Chambers says that Foxx explained how one of his daughters unknowingly kept him alive, playing their special song on a guitar while he was in a coma.
His heart started picking up, and his responses on the medical devices started increasing, and his health came around, and he eventually woke up. It was literally due to his daughter playing a song that was kindred to them both.
Foxx says he woke up and found himself in a wheelchair and had no idea why. He took the only route he knew how, to get well, and that's humor. He says that if I can stay funny, I can stay alive.
Glad he is doing well. Well, the FDA may move to ban red food dye linked to health risks within weeks. Red dye number 3 is made from petroleum. It's found in cereals, candies, snacks, drinks, and more. While the FDA has stated that food dyes are safe and do not pose health risks, the dye was banned from topical drugs and cosmetics in 1990. Researchers have also found evidence that red dye number 3 causes cancer in animals. And students at Ligon Magnet Middle School got quite the surprise. The band program was named a Blue Ribbon Program of Excellence by the National Band Association. The achievement aligns with Wake County's Arts Strategic Plan, which fosters creativity, discipline, and achievement. Band director Renee Todd helped grow the program with 3 wind bands and 2 jazz ensembles.
So we're really proud of the kids and the hard work that they've done. As a band director, it just makes me see all of their work and the community's work to support them.
And Ligon's program will be celebrated at the Midwest International Band and Orchestra Clinic on December 19th in Chicago. That's where the National Blue Ribbon winners will be announced.
Get ready for a celebration of joy, magic, and community spirit. The Durham Holiday Parade is right around the corner. Join WRAL's Ken Smith, Ashley Rowe, and Grace Haba for dazzling floats, festive marching bands, amazing dance groups, and a visit from Santa himself. Our live coverage of the Durham Holiday Parade starts Saturday at 10 a.m. on WRAL.
Time now is 8:23. Turn your holiday stress into success. Simple things that you can do to help make the next couple of weeks merry and bright.
Plus, we are still on UNC football coach watch. What Bill Belichick says about his conversations with the chancellor. And of course, we're still checking in with weather and traffic in just a bit.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We are seeing some fog and spotty rain showers. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us where that rain is falling right now.
Mostly in our southeastern counties, around Goldsboro, sliding eastward. We've had a few sprinkles rolling through the triangle in the last hour or so, but we have some drizzle that's happening along with fog, and you can see that fog hanging over Terminal 2. So watch for the fog and the drizzle. We're not likely to see any heavy rain until the evening commute, which could be really messy. Watch what happens starting from 5 to 6 o'clock. We jump back up to around a 50 to 60% chance of rain. And today it will be warm, cloudy, but a high near 70, Ken.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Here's a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. The westbound lanes moving toward us this morning, really moving very slowly this morning. Here's what it looks like on a live traffic map this morning. You can also see the northern loop of the Beltline and also see the congestion on US 1 coming in from Wake Forest. In terms of delays, here's what we're looking at this morning. The real trouble spot, US 1 offensive Wake Forest, building about 10 minutes of drive time in terms of delay coming in. And of course, you're looking at a 5-minute delay coming in from Knightdale into the capital city. I'll have an update at the bottom of the hour over in Fox 50.
Thanks, Ken. This morning around 1 o'clock, a person was shot in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene on Linwood Avenue. There was a gray car with several bullet holes on the side of it. The person who was shot is expected to recover. And today we'll get a first look at a new Caesars Casino. It officially opens in 1 week. Many people from the Triangle are already making the trip to Danville, Virginia to gamble legally at the casino's temporary setup. Next on Fox 50, the search for UNC's next football coach. And up next on Today, Keira Knightley on her new Netflix series, Black Doves.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
A person is recovering in the hospital after being shot early this morning in Durham. We are taking you to the scene and showing you the car that had bullet holes in it.
And we've had some light rain this morning, a lot of fog. I'll show you what it will look and feel like as you head out the door.
And a sneak peek today at a new casino where you can gamble legally with a quick trip from the Triangle. A lot of people very excited for that casino to officially open its doors. We will get to that story coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. Although you may not feel incredibly lucky today, just because you got fog, you've woken up, some of you, to rain, and tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day, and Elizabeth Gardner is tracking that for you.
We'll start here with radar today. You can see that there's not a lot of activity here on the radar, but earlier this morning we had a good bit of drizzle. We had some patchy showers. As we get closer to lunchtime, we'll see even less rain, and the fog is beginning to lift a little bit already. There are definitely some cameras out there where we couldn't see much, and we're starting to be able to see a little bit more. So some somewhat improving conditions as we head through the afternoon up until around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then we're going to see our next wave of rain that comes in. This is going to kick off the heavy rain that we'll see overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's morning commute is going to be really messy. Officially, we're still looking at just a quarter of a mile visibility in the triangle, but it does look a little better. Like right now, you can start to see some of the buildings that are here behind the legislative building. Just about an hour ago, you couldn't see any of those. It is 57 degrees, so it's a mild start this morning. Our wind is coming out of the southeast, and we'll see a high of 70 this afternoon, but it will stay mostly cloudy. Coming up, we're going to talk about how much rain we're going to see tomorrow and more details on that WRAL weather alert day, which could include some severe storms. Ken?
Elizabeth, at 8:31, we are seeing those foggy conditions showing up on our live traffic map this morning. The orange area shows you where the fog is most dense. And that's why we have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roadway this morning. Kelsey Coffey, photographer Mark Alexic. You guys are on the Beltline this morning. What are you seeing this half hour?
Well, Ken, right now we're getting the first little glimpse at the sun here. So we'll give you a live look now at road conditions as we are getting on the Beltline here. So you can see there's still a lot of fog out, so that will impact your visibility this morning. But we can see that the sun is peeking out just a little bit. So it looks like we may be coming up here on a slowdown, which is common during this time of the morning commute. So just be sure to give yourself a little bit of extra time just in case you hit some of that fog and you want to slow down. But Ken, what else can you tell people as they are headed out the door?
Yeah, you know, Kelsey, we always want to remind people that depending on where they are, depending on the road conditions, be mindful of law enforcement officers out there working these crash scenes because move over one lane, which is the law if you can. This just into our newsroom in Lewisburg, Forestville Road in the southbound lane, you're seeing that huge congestion that's building there on Lewisburg Road. You use the US 1 as an alternate route for you, but even that is a little clogged up this morning, so you might want to leave the house a little sooner than usual there in Roseville and Lewisburg just to be on the safe side this morning. Isolating the Beltline this morning, you see the usual congestion building on the southern loop of the Beltline as well as the northern loop of the Beltline as well, but the traffic is moving along, and I want to give you a live look at that southern loop right now. I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road, the westbound lanes are moving toward us. It's a slow, steady clip, albeit, but at least it's moving this morning. In terms of delays, in terms of the routes coming into the capital city, the real troubled spot, our friends in Wake Forest built in about an extra 15 minutes coming into the capital city this morning. Elsewhere, just minor delays. 101.5 HD3 is a place to listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
One person was shot early this morning in Durham, and that happened just after 1 a.m. near Linville Avenue and Fayetteville Street. The WRAL breaking news tracker recorded this video of a gray car with bullet holes on the side of it. An officer said that the person who was shot was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. We are still working to learn who the person is that fired the gunshots.
Jeff Hogan in the WRAL Live Center. I have some brand new information from the Lee County Sheriff's Office I wanted to get to you right away. This is stemming from an incident that happened Friday evening, a shooting that we covered for you then. But this is a brand new mugshot just sent to us from Lee County Sheriff's Office. This is Giovanni Garcia Rivera, a 20-year-old out of Sanford. This all stems from a shooting Friday night on Poplar Springs Church Road in Sanford. Garcia Rivera has been charged with murder and is being held without bond stemming from that incident. I want to take you back now, certainly, to exactly what we were covering for you on Friday night and show you exactly what took place there, because this was the scene Friday evening when the sheriff's office was called to the 1500 block of Poplar Springs Church Road, investigating a report of several gunshot victims there. When they got there, they found one person had been killed. Another person was shot and was flown to a nearby trauma center. Stephen Baruch Romero was initially charged with murder in this case, so that second arrest has been made. That mugshot that I just showed you, this investigation continues.
All right, thank you for that update, Jeff. It's day 2 in the trial of a Raleigh store owner accused of stabbing and killing a customer. You may remember that incident in Tez's supermarket last year. Prosecutors said yesterday the store's owner, Tasir Zarka, caught Mark Garrity stealing a Gatorade, tried to keep him from leaving, and stabbed him. Zarka faces a second-degree murder charge. He got out of jail on a $1 million bond last year.
A Wake County man is recovering from a vehicle hitting him while he was helping other people involved in a crash. A total of 4 vehicles were involved in this last night just before 7:30. Troopers say an SUV ran a stop sign and a silver truck collided into it. Both vehicles were stopped on 1010 Road. Well, Darren Quick then stopped to check on them, and as he was doing this, another truck hit the SUV on the road, and that struck him. Quick was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries, but he's expected to live. WRAL spoke with a woman who saw all of this happen.
We're sitting there and we're looking at them, and everyone was fine. And then out of nowhere, a truck came barreling like as fast as possible, and not just like ran into them, but like ran over them.
And a family friend started a GoFundMe for Darren Quick. It's raised nearly $4,000 at last check. WRAL is working to learn if the driver who hit Quick will face charges.
UNC is spending a lot of time with former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick as it searches for its next football coach. Belichick says that he has spoken with UNC Chancellor Lee Roberts multiple times. Belichick coached in 9 Super Bowls, winning 6 of them. He dominated the NFL for 20 years, with only one other coach winning more games. The Tar Heels are looking for a coach to replace Mac Brown, but the search and the hiring process has been hampered by internal turmoil.
The board's taken a lot of shots at Bubba Cunningham, and now senior administrator tells me this process would be done. Not necessarily that Bill Belichick would be hired, but the search would be over, process wrapped up, if not for the Board of Trustees inserting themselves into this process.
Other potential candidates for UNC include Army's Jeff Munkin and UNC interim coach Freddie Kitchens. And this morning, we are getting a first look at the new Caesars Virginia. The casino is just over an hour away from Durham and an hour and a half from Raleigh. And WRAL's Laura Levine is along I-40 in Raleigh to tell us what visitors can expect.
Start planning that road trip. We're exactly 1 week away until the long-awaited opening of the Caesars Casino in Virginia. Many North Carolinians have already hopped on I-40 here behind me from Raleigh, heading to that new location where they've been able to gamble legally for the temporary site that's been set up there. Taking a look at this video, this is a look at some of the construction process that's been underway for the past couple of months. Caesars Virginia is a $750 million development from Caesars Entertainment in the eastern band of Cherokee Indians. As we wait to get that inside look later this morning, this is video of the temporary location. Here's what's coming soon. Guests will find a gaming floor with 1,500 slot machines, about 80 live dealer table games, a Caesars sportsbook, and a World Series of poker room. Caesars Virginia will become the 3rd permanent resort casino to open in Virginia. Now, the doors of the resort, which also includes a 320-room luxury hotel, will open at around noon on Tuesday, December 17th. That's a bit of a delay from the originally scheduled opening date, which was this Friday. We will have a crew there in Danville getting that first-hand look at how the casino is set up. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
I'm Nick Perlin in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker, where Raleigh police are very busy here at this apartment complex on Old Plank Road, investigating from what we're hearing is a reported shooting. I want to get behind the camera. I want to show you a little bit more of this crime scene. Information so far is still limited, but you can see counting about 3 or 4 Raleigh police units, and you can see there that entire stretch right here is taped off. I've seen Raleigh police shine flashlights in that area and walk around trying to figure out what happened here. Again, we're still trying to figure out what led up to this. We're still trying to find out if there was a shooting, if anybody was shot and hurt, and of course if anybody was killed. We've still got a lot of questions for Raleigh police, still very early in this investigation. I'm going to try to get as much details as I possibly can in the next upcoming minutes, and we'll hopefully have more to tell you in just a little bit. Live in Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Check back in on Nick here shortly. We expect to get an update this afternoon about Helene recovery. We'll learn how people in western North Carolina can get help repairing private roads, bridges, and driveways the storm damaged. FEMA officials will explain how residents can secure that federal funding, and we expect to get that update at 3 p.m. Your time is 8:40. There's a new ban on some toxic chemicals. We'll explain which substances used in many cleaning products are part of this and the serious health risks they carry.
And merry and bright, or stressed and strained, how to turn holiday stress into success.
You want to look out for that fog as you are waking up this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show you the trouble spots for your morning commute and give you an update on the WRAL Weather Alert Day set for tomorrow. Well, this is just dreary as we're looking outside at Roxborough with a little cloud coverage there, but that's okay though, because we're going to get you all caught up to speed on your weather forecast. How can you ever be dreary when you see Elizabeth Gardner bringing you the weather forecast today, though it is a little foggy out
Yeah, so, it's one of those days. Tomorrow's going to be an even worse day, as a matter of fact. And then we're back to some sunshine by late Wednesday into Thursday. Doppler 5000 radar, a little bit of rain showing up here in Goldsboro. That is headed off to the east. Other than that, it's fairly quiet, but we'll see a few isolated showers between now and lunchtime. After that, cloudy skies, but we're starting to see some improvement in some places. The clouds are starting to lift a little bit. The fog that we saw will show you, of course, between now and lunchtime. Futurecast shows a chance of some showers. Once we get into the evening commute, the rain starts to pick up in coverage and intensity, and it'll get pretty heavy overnight, and that's the way we're going to wake up tomorrow morning. You can take a look at some lightning that's showing up along the front right now. So as that moves across our area tomorrow, especially around lunchtime into the afternoon, we'll likely have some thunderstorms across our area. Take a look here at North Hills, and you can just start to see some of the buildings there. But for most of the morning, this has been really socked in with the fog. Our temperature is 57, so that's starting to warm up slightly, and we're on our way to 70 for this afternoon. But it is going to stay fairly cloudy today. We're still looking at visibility officially at a quarter of a mile in the Triangle, so it's foggy out there. 70 for Raleigh this afternoon, 68 in Durham, and 74 degrees for Fayetteville. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We're going to see that front move through. It's going to bring some heavy rain from tonight into, say, mid to late afternoon tomorrow. 1 to 2 inches of rain. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms, and even outside of some of those storms, winds are going to be gusty tomorrow, 30 to 40 miles per hour. So again, tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day, and that rain will begin tonight. By Thursday and Friday, we're cooler but dry. Saturday, the holiday parade in Durham, and of course, you can catch that over on WRAL. And then Sunday looks a little bit wetter. So if you're hoping to be outside right now, Saturday looks like the better day. It will be cool and cloudy, but it should be dry.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. TikTok is working to block a law that could ban the app in the United States. The app's owner, ByteDance, asked an appeals court to temporarily block the law. The law gives the company until January 19th to sell the app to avoid the ban. A temporary block would allow TikTok to remain on app stores in the U.S. until the conclusion of their appeal. TikTok is arguing the order to sell the platform is an unconstitutional violation of the First Amendment.
New this morning, rapper Jay-Z stepped out last night amid allegations that he raped a 13-year-old girl. The music mogul appeared alongside his wife, Beyonce, and his daughter, Blue Ivy, for the premiere of Disney's new film, Mufasa, The Lion King. Both Beyonce and Blue Ivy have roles in that film. Jay-Z's appearance comes one day after he was accused in a civil lawsuit of raping a teenager after an award show with Sean Diddy Combs. The rapper has denied the allegations, saying that the civil lawsuit is a blackmail attempt. And the Environmental Protection Agency has banned 2 cancer-causing solvents. They are most commonly used in degreasers, auto repair, and dry cleaning. These rules aim to phase out their use in consumer products and implement tighter protections for workers in industries still allowed to use them. Here in North Carolina, more than 500 sites are contaminated with these chemicals, including some in Wake and Durham counties. For some residents, this change is personal.
That gives me a great peace of mind. Like I said, I've had interaction with cancer on a personal level from family members. And so anything that can be able to keep them healthy as well as other consumers, that's a very good thing.
Dry cleaners have been major contributors to this pollution, but some local businesses like Tide Cleaners and Brothers Cleaners have switched to safer alternatives, which owners say have been available for years.
During the holiday season, it might be unavoidable to feel overwhelmed with buying presents and even traveling. But psychologists say that you shouldn't let the stress rule your life. As Sean Langiel explains, these pains can actually have some benefit for your mental health.
Mounting tensions that accompany the holiday season are bringing anything but joy to many people's worlds. According to a recent study by LendingTree, out of the nearly 70% of Americans expected to give presents this year, 37% feel pressured to do so, and 26% say it causes them stress. The holidays are also a time filled with gatherings, which can wear you out.
Any stress is still, even good stress is still stress. It still causes like the physiological response that we have, whether it's anxiety, stress, sadness.
But psychology experts say we can turn some of that stress into success, citing the mental health boosts related to giving and spending quality time with others.
It can also be a source of excitement and happiness. We know that volunteering or helping others can be really good for us. It can be really good for our mood. It takes the focus off ourselves onto other people.
According to data from the American Psychological Association, giving presents triggers sections of the brain linked to pleasure, social connection, and even trust. Meanwhile, even though going to lots of holiday parties may seem hectic, they may be just what the doctor ordered to help put a smile on your face. Especially with shorter and colder days keeping more people inside the house this time of year.
Seeing other people, not being alone, even if it's like you're not traveling to see family, can you get together with friends, right? Not being alone during this time of year is really useful.
That was Sean Langio with that story. Today, we expect an announcement on whether monarch butterflies will keep federal protections. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plans to add the insect to the threatened species list by the end of next year. Threatened species do not get all the protections that endangered species do. Environmentalists warn the monarch populations are shrinking. The announcement today will kick off a public comment period, and when that's over, the Wildlife Agency will decide how to move forward.
The UNC women's soccer team is once again a national championship team. They defeated rival Wake Forest in the 2024 NCAA tournament final. The national title is the 23rd in program history. That is the most ever in the NCAA. Both programs drew number 2 seeds in the tournament. And tonight, Governor Roy Cooper will host a menorah lighting ahead of Hanukkah. This is video from last year's ceremony. It's happening tonight at 5 o'clock at the governor's mansion.
And happening this morning, a special celebration for Raleigh seniors. The 67th Golden Year celebration is sponsored by WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting, and Raleigh Parks, Recreation and Cultural Resources. The event at the Raleigh Convention and Conference Center includes breakfast, music, and dancing. Renee and Ken will MC along with Brian Schrader if you're going out there. You can watch the event live on WRAL.com, and that starts at 10:15 this morning. It should be a good time.
It's going to be amazing. All right, well, award season is getting underway with the announcement of this year's Golden Globe nominees. Ashley Dvorkin has a look at this and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
Mr. Scout.
Severance clocks in, and Era wraps for Swift, and Golden Globe nominees are announced in today's Hollywood Nation.
Just cut to the chase.
Netflix's crime thriller musical Amelia Perez leads the way for this year's Golden Globe Awards, with the most nods, earning 10. The film is up for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, along with Anora, Challengers, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Wicked. Nominated for Best Motion Picture Drama are The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and September 5.
What if I wanted to open a restaurant?
In TV, The Bear scored the most nominations with 5. Joining the chefs in Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy are Abbott Elementary, The Gentleman, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, and Only Murders in the Building. The Golden Globes air live on CBS and stream on Paramount Plus on Sunday, January 5th. Taylor Swift's Eras tour has wrapped, and according to Variety, it was a record-breaking run, banking $2 billion. The 149-day tour ended in Vancouver. People magazine reports Swift handed out $197 million of that $2 billion to tour employees as bonuses on top of their salaries.
Hello, is anyone there? Is the board on?
Today's First Looks features a return to Lumen Industries with a trailer for Season 2 of Severance. In the series, Adam Scott leads a team of employees who underwent a surgical procedure dividing their work and personal lives. In Season 2, the mystery of all of it unravels even further in their search for answers. Severance Season 2 premieres January 17th on Apple TV+.
I love Severance.
Before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers.
And of course, we'll get you another check on your weather and traffic in just a bit. Stay with us.